Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Thursday. It's April 26, 2012. The markets have broken out to the upside, making a higher series of highs. We're looking at the S&P500 right now, the SPX. You can see this high point here, and it's taken out by this higher high here. At the very moment, you only have a series of higher highs and a series of lower lows, so it's not necessarily reversed the downtrend, but it does look like it's going to do that. We've been stopped out of all of our short positions at this time, so we're not short. We're just sitting in cash watching this market run. And that's fine with me. I don't mind that. But what I wanted to bring to your attention here is we want to watch and see how high it goes. And this is not just true with the S&P. This is true with the Dow. This is true with a lot of different averages out there. I'm going to be watching to see how high the markets run, what kind of news we get out of Europe, the news we're going to get tomorrow from the GDP data. That stuff's going to be important to us as well. We really want to know is, are we going to get a rally to new highs, which will then make us be more bullish when we start looking for a buy opportunity and pullback, or are we just making another run for the top and then we're going to fail at that level and find resistance in certain averages? And I want to know as soon as that happens, whether I'm going to be bullish or bearish based on that information. But right now, we're just watching it run. We're actually haven't peaked yet. One of the things you can do looking for the peak is look at the market average itself, like we've done before. We talked about you can find the different setups that will form, like you have a bearish divergence here. We talked about that back at that time period. That's something that can telltale sign that you're reaching a peak area. You're going to be pulling back. You've seen that again here, where the momentum was trending down, price activity was still trending higher, telling you this is false, it's going to break it down. Different things you can do. If you are long, keep advancing your stop. We talked about that yesterday on the NASDAQ. We told you could have traded the NASDAQ a couple days ago. If you're doing that, just keep advancing your stop to the low of each day's candlestick. Eventually, you will be stopped out, but that's fine. That's what you're trying to do as a trader. One of the other things you can do is look for the individual candlestick of the inverted hammer, basically a situation where you have a shooting star. You had one here. Let me clean this up so you can see this a little bit better. Get that tool out again. Or you had an inverted hammer here, longer wick out of the top, the one here. These are sell signs. These are telling you that you're hitting some resistance here, there's some sell pressure there, expect a sell-off. Right now, we're not seeing that. In fact, we're seeing a continuation candlestick to the upside. If any of this is new to you, you don't understand it, don't worry about it. You can go to our free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, and there's a whole tutorial library there in video format that will teach you everything you need to know about technical analysis. All right. So another thing you can do, and I'm going to be watching this chart that's most interesting to me right now, is watching the VIX. Remember, the VIX runs the inverse of the S&P 500. So what I want to do is watch the VIX and see if I start getting strength in the VIX, showing a buy pressure in the VIX, because that will be telling me that there is in fact sell pressure on the S&P. And as we've shown you guys before, sometimes they will confirm one another, and sometimes one will tell you something that the other one's not quite showing, and that can kind of give you an early warning sign that in fact maybe a rally is falling apart. We talked about that back during this rally here. We told you the VIX was not confirming it. It wasn't the real bottom, and she eventually made a lower low. So that's something you need to keep an eye on. Let's have a look at the VIX right now. Okay, here we are looking at the VIX, the volatility index, which is a measurement basically of options activity. When people are very bearish on the major markets, then they will be bullish on the VIX. You will start seeing hammer candlestick formations like you saw over here and things of that nature. When you get the other scenario, when you're getting very bullish on the S&P, you'll get bearish on the VIX. So that's something else to keep note of. Last time we gave a signal here, we gave you an if and then scenario. But the problem with this next day, even though it was higher, which is what we're looking for, it had gapped up way up here, so we're not going to chase that, so we just simply never took advantage of this trade. And if you did, if you didn't know better than to do that, then you've already been stopped out. You're not long the VIX anymore. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch this guy pull back. What we want to do is see how low she goes, and at what point do we get a hammer candlestick formation. My inspection, I would expect to find I would expect to find a hammer candlestick at about the 15 level. That's where we found support before, right in here. We even broke through that support, but it was so oversold that it just refused it and started moving higher. We caught that reversal here. We started getting a series of higher highs and so forth and so on. So this is something that I'm going to be watching really hard, really close for the next few days. And as we see the market move higher, I want to know, when does the VIX either confirm that we're seeing a peak in the market, or go lower and show that in fact we're going to break out. If we go lower below this point here, then in fact the markets have much higher to go. But unless that happens, we're going to be watching for a reversal here in the S&P as well as other major markets, which I'll be covering tomorrow. On Friday, I'll cover every market that we track at perfectstockalert.com. There's about 16 of them going around the world. You can check them out. They're updated every single day with my chart notes, including my stop loss limits, advanced, and so forth and so on. You can go to the free website at perfectstockalert.com. It's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. God bless. Take care. Share our videos online, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.